It's us. Dark Court. That was kind of cool, huh?
That was cool. I like that. We see him. That was awesome.
That seems pretty professional.
That was my
Here we
thinking
are.
exactly.
Larry Young at Dork Court. Walker Young at Dork Court. The
That's
Court
me.
of Dorks. The Court of Silence.
Court is
You
in session.
remember Darmok and Jalad Tanagra, right? That Next Generation episode I love so much.
Yeah, that's the one where they always speak in rhymes and stuff, right?
In metaphors.
Metaphors.
Yeah. So that's one of it. Chenza in court. The Court of Silence. I
think we all know my favorite Next Generation episode.
As funny as that is, that's a defensible choice. That Captain's Holiday is
It was a good episode.
I love that episode. Anyway, so do you see Jamaharan? Is that what the thing is there? Kind of.
I've been working on it. I've been dabbling.
I wonder what the Ryzen word for Riz is. I guess it's kind of probably just Ryza, right?
Something like that.
You got the Ryza.
If it wasn't, it is now.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, we were waiting for Mr. Steve, but I think we can get going. Do you have anything that you want to chat about, or do you want to talk about Dune, or do you want to jump to your news right away? How do you want to do this? My structure gene is not well developed.
All right. I got this. So, as we are in the Court of Dorks, let us talk about some dorky things. We always what's like the current dork thing? I don't know.
Dude, I mean, did you want to talk about Dune? Did you want to talk about the prevalence of AI? Did you want to do your comic book news? I mean,
let's do Dune.
I pitched a bunch of stuff. So you, as a teenager, and as someone who has not read the book, we did watch the 1984 David Lynch version, and then Chapter 1, and then we went to Chapter 2 with Mommy and Mr. Steve. And so I think you caught up to Dune as best as you can to have that experience, and then we saw it in IMAX.
That was really fun.
So what did you think as just a unindicted co-conspirator?
What was the first one? The first Dune ever that came out?
Well, the first live action, you mean?
Yeah.
That was David Lynch.
Famous,
pretty famous director. Came out in 1984. So
I'm going to be honest. I think David Lynch's was really good.
Yeah, cool.
It has that old movie charm that I really like, and that's not even awesome. And saying it has the old movie charm is it makes it feel like I'm some punk kid who or that's how I'm saying it, is it's got that old movie charm. Was that looks good, but it's all about the special effects now. I don't like the special effects. I think they worked really well with what they had available to them, and I think the shields that they had in the David Lynch movie were really good. They were just straight pieces of stuff, but it was really cool.
Cool. Hey, Mr. Steve's here, so I hate to interrupt you, but can I let him in? Yeah, there he is, Steve Ukraine.
I feel like everything is my camera crooked. Look, everything looks crooked. I don't know.
You look right.
All right, I don't look crooked. These look crooked.
You don't look crooked.
Okay, well that's a positive.
Yeah, we just were talking about Dune, our experience of watching Dune with you.
Oh.
And Walker, you will love this. You should probably, if you have a minute, go back and just watch this bit right before you showed up, because he was saying how he likes the Lynch version, and it has an old school charm. And then checked himself, because he's I'm not a punk kid talking about old film. And so that is the riff you were in the middle of. Do you still have that energy, pal? Do you want to keep going where you left off? Okay, go ahead.
Hold on. I just want to start with, technically, you saw the Lynch one after you saw the first part one of the, what's his name? I can't think of. Okay, all right. Just want to clarify. Okay, go on.
But for people who are, parsing it at that level, we should remind everybody that that was during the coronavirus, and maybe his first impressions, like mine, weren't really indicative of the film. That's what we're just telling everybody listening, if there is anybody listening out there, that the Lynch version, then part one, and then we went with you and me to the part two. So we got a really cool continuity of experience that I enjoyed. Anyway, so Walker was like, "Hey man, I like that old school charm stuff, physical sets, real props, creature effects." Right? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I really like the because we watched them back to back at night. We watched the Dune Part 1. Oh, like at night we watched Dune Part 1, and then the following day we had the David Lynch one on. So that was really cool. It was really cool to go like, oh, we just saw like the spice mining ship get attacked by the sandworms. So, and then to see how both of those movies like did it, and they did it in pretty much the same way, because that did feel like a pivotal setup scene. So I just thought I think they both did it really cool. I just think, I don't know. I really like the David Lynch one was cool because it looked like they were actually sitting in a ship.
I'm with you because they, if you follow the story, then it's just the directors and writers and actors it's their interpretation of, the holy script.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really cool to see two directors responsible for the same story beats and like the choices they made and stuff. And it was really fun to watch it like that. So nice job caring about movies, Walker.
Yeah, listen, the David Lynch one is the one I grew up on. So that's the one that you read the books, and then your only representation for a really long time is the David Lynch version. So that's just permanently burned into my brain. And then you have to realize now you have a director that has like probably all the bells and whistles, so he can kind of go a little more crazy. And I think he definitely went in that realm with like the costumes and stuff like that. But when it came to like practical, I think he probably avoided a lot of that, because I think Lynch was more like, this is crazy sci-fi. I'm going to make you think it's crazy sci-fi. Whereas, how do you say his name? Villanueva? Is that it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's French. Just go. Yeah. Let's just pretend that he's our friend Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis. So
we can all say Dennis.
His second one, I think it's more of a, he spends too much time, but I still love the movie. Like, it's all character driven. It's all people. Mm-hmm. It's all interactions of people, and the sets and the background stuff is kind of like noise. Now, that's not to say that this third one, if it gets greenlit, that one should be nutso, if they pull it off.
Look at this. My friend Kieran is like, can't be old because it's as old as him, which makes me feel really old, because in 1984, on opening day, I had the best. I understand what celebrities feel like, because I worked at the only comic store that was worth talking about in a 100-mile radius, and the entire place was filled. 80%, no lie, was filled with people I knew because they were customers of the comic store. So when I just walked in with my buddy Ethan and my buddy Rob just to catch a seat to go see this fucking great movie, the entire place is like, Larry, it's fucking Larry! Larry, what's up, Larry? See you at the store, Larry! And I was like, freaky. So, even more freaky to me, that story, that Kieran McNulty was born probably when that was happening. It's so weird being old.
Do we consider, like, didn't Lynch disown that first one? So yeah, like, isn't that still an Alan Smithy?
Yeah, the theatrical version said directed by Alan Smithy, and then he softened up over the years, because all the TV ones, And the streaming ones say directed by David Lynch now. But yeah, that first theatrical one, he was like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah, he's like, don't put my name on that. Shai Hulud during the Shai Hulud scene. Yeah,
he's McNulty's the chosen one. His name is a weapon word or whatever. What did they say?
Yeah, his name is a killing word.
A killing word. Yeah.
It was. You know what though? It was interesting because, I didn't go back and read the original Dune. I'm reading some of the other crap because I wanted to see how much he steals from. So I'm reading some of the stuff that the Sun wrote again. Just because the thing about it is, I mean, they're both making the same movie, but there are different elements that they really kind of focus in on, and there's things that like I really like from the Lynch film that didn't kind of jump into the other one, and then it's the same.
Too.
And then it's the same thing the other way, like my favorite part, I think, of the both two are like the Sardaukar warriors and their like language and all these things. And it's kind of like in the original, in the Lynch version, they're just generic stormtrooper in these like big black, like, you know, garbage bags, you know? I don't know. I don't know. I've been reading a lot of the backstory of like why he made, you know, the Harkonnen home planet, like black and white and all this stuff. And it's just like, Dennis spent a lot of time like really trying to differentiate his movie from Lynch, but he's also like, it's the same story, so I can't really venture that far.
Well, you can tell like some of the on the dark trek that we did yesterday, because Price was really into this movie, so we basically talked about it the whole time. The one thing he came up with that I didn't know is when they're on the Harkonnen planet where they're doing the celebrations and they have those weird Nightcrawler burst fireworks. Apparently, that's actually fireworks going off that Dennis filmed, but it filmed in the infrared. So the reason it goes like that is like that's the dissipation of the heat. And I was like, man, that is fucking cool, because it looked like something otherworldly. It didn't look like CG. It looked like something natural was happening. And once John told me that, I was like, "Oh, that Dennis Villeneuve, bon bon bon, welcome to the Chefy Fee."
Listen, I just hope they I just hope they greenlight the third one. I don't know how much money this next part 2 has to make, but I just give me the trilogy, give me Dune Messiah. That's gonna be, and again, like I think we chatted about this already. It's like I think his next movie is Cleopatra with Zendaya. I think that's the next movie he's supposed to be directing. So you do another movie with Zendaya, then you make this movie, and it'll come out right after Furiosa, where what's her name's going to be a huge star, and she's a big prominent part of the second book. So of the Dune Messiah, the only thing I'm questioning is I think they're going to change the title.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had to call Captain America the First Avenger. So Messiah is a pretty loaded word. What do you think they're going to call it, though?
I have been trying
to. Let's call it Children of Dune, right? And then just sort of put the two stories together and fucking call it a day. Or make Children of Dune a 2-part movie and just have it be, you know, Messiah and then Children of Dune.
Yeah,
I 3. I mean, that's, you know, why not? Dune Part 3. Just call it Dune and just keep going and then do what you want. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Green light. Let's go.
Well, remember like when... Oh, go on. Walk.
Well, I was just going to say, so technically, because wouldn't it just be Dune 2? Because the first 2 movies are Part 1 and Part 2.
So just call it Dune Part 3. Dune Part 3, see? And then that's why I think that's brilliant. Dune Legacy. Dude, I do not know how we cross paths on the internet, but I'm really glad we did. This guy makes me laugh all the goddamn time. And he's a good dad too, Walker. So tell him, hey, funny dads are all that. Right, Steve? Funny dads. Your girls, though, they don't care about movies and comics, do they? They just, no.
I mean, they watch what I watch for a little bit, and then for the most part, they'll just be like, "Why?" Essentially, they ask me, why am I watching it? That's that's
See,
the
that's
reality check.
devastating. That's devastating though, because they have that girl thing, man. Like, oh, why do you get joy out of this? It's like, it's like, oh,
it's
I
good.
wanted was a Pepsi, honey.
Well, I like that I can watch Ghostbusters and they'll watch
Oh,
Ghostbusters.
thank God. All right.
Or like the Blues Brothers. There's a few movies that I can watch where they're just like, oh, that's like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, stuff like that. Like if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sit and watch something, and I find those, like they'll come and sit with me because they know like I'm just laughing the whole time, and they're like, all right, I have to sit with you. But it's like most of this other, like I could never imagine getting either of them to sit down and watch any of these Dune movies in like a million years.
Well, yeah, I mean they're just definitely not the audience, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But hey, so Timothy Connolly is the guy that did our Dirt Court theme song. So thanks.
Oh,
Tim.
that's amazing. Thank you for that, dude. That's awesome.
Roundhouse Network. I'm used to the reason I didn't know that was you is because I should have guessed. That was a brilliant thing about Doom Part 3. But don't you? He usually sends me emails with some other like skeevy name, like Snidely Pap Smear or something. It's something like that. Please put that in the comment section so we can all laugh. Also, people named David and Timothy, and I forget to ask them if that's what they really go by, and because I immediately start calling people Tim and Dave. So sorry, Timmy, if you didn't like that one. Sonny Calzone, yeah, I thought there was more sexually transmitted diseases in it, but maybe that was just me. Sonny Calzone, that's a decent name. Anyway, Walker just disappeared. What was that, man?
We got
you
a
did
package.
not ask to be excused from the table.
But we got a package.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Let's see. Does it
Live-
look sneaker sized?
Live unboxing on dorkcourt.com.
Yeah, you should. If it's what I think it is, you should. Steve will die laughing. It kind of thematically works with your daughters in that this is something that everybody who enjoys fashion will have an opinion on.
A new purchase by you, or
so
welcome
who
to
is
Dorkcourt
this?
Unboxing.
Who's it addressed to, Walker? Come on.
This is addressed to Larry Young. Let's get right into it.
Thanks for all this dead air. Who do you think sent it? Is there some kind of identifying marks on the outside?
It is a brown box. Only thing on it is a label, and it, I believe, says something about Las Vegas.
Oh, interesting.
This is maddening in its vagueness.
Yeah,
it's like addresses.
I'm opening it.
Mimi had something sent to her a couple Christmases ago, and the return address just said Dennis on it.
Okay.
With two N's, not the French way. Like,
oh, look at this.
Zoom.
Oh, fancy.
Are they shoes?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, are they wrestling
what kind of shoes are those?
They are Adidas.
Are those lacrosse shoes?
No. They're wrestling shoes.
That's what I thought they were wrestling shoes. Yeah. Who's wrestling?
Me. I mean, I'm not going to. That's like saying, well, why did you buy that spacesuit, Larry? You're not going into space anytime soon. No, those are. I hope Mimi's not watching this, because those are the shoes that Ryan Gosling's wearing as Ken in a major scenes in Barbie, and they just like bananas comfortable. So I'm like, wow, they have them in my size. So let's go.
So he's wearing.
I thought it was cool
shoes?
because Walker's Knuff and we have the same size shoe. So go ahead and try that on, pal, and see if you can be full Barbie when mommy gets home. The cool part is you wear them like how you wear shoes. You don't have to lace them; just stick your feet in them and you're done. The tongue flapping, the big things up on the end. Now all we need is a big giant white mink stole. You
Yeah,
call
like
those?
a
They're not
coat.
jackets, really. They're
Yeah.
I guess you could call them minks.
Yeah, you see those at Alameda every so often, so that's not that's a mental note, you know.
That's true, man. If we could get a white mink for under $100, I would do that in a second, just for that outfit right there.
Oh, these are kind of comfortable.
Oh,
Yeah,
look, cool.
dude, aren't they? So
Yeah.
I'll share.
Very interesting.
Anyway, so I have that thing. Well, I enjoy costuming. I had a cool a new Star Trek on yesterday. I have a new Admiral suit, and this happened to me. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. When I was 3, there was a picture of me when I was 3 dressed up like Zorro because I made my mother do it, and it's just been in my life forever. But when I was in college, I went to this con, a creation con, Phil Seuling's creation con in Boston, Massachusetts, and I went to go see Howard Chaykin, which was great. I have a great Howard Chaykin story, but I saw a guy there, just this killer Hawkman. Just the guy was jacked, and like in 1983 or 1984, you had like weightlifting was a specialty thing, right? And this guy was a weightlifter. He looked like a Hawkman drawing that Joe Kubert just passed out, right? His helmet was perfect. His mace was like 20 pounds. So his arm is like rippling every time he like turns around. Somebody says, take a picture.
Shimmies his wrist, and he's like, yeah,
you get it. The whole thing is just going, and he's perfect. And I look down, like, and he's got red Converse, Chuck Taylor high tops.
This is your shoe thing. Yes, my
origin story of the proper shoe for what you're wearing. It's vital, man. It's vital. It ruins the whole fucking thing. You can have, work yourself so you're like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can spend $2,000 on your costume. It's perfect. You put on fucking sneakers, and you're this scar in my soul forever to the fact where, like, I've spent as much on shoes as what's her name, Marcos from the Philippines. Imelda.
Imelda Marcos. I was gonna say Amanda, but I knew it wasn't Amanda.
See, that's what you get when you come to Dork Court, though. A really cool pop culture reference with an impossible to remember wife of a dictator from the
Philippines, 80s. From like the
it's like a reference I kind of don't even get.
I just know that she was from the Philippines and that they stole all the money and spent it all on like her closets and stuff.
When they raided the compound, she had like 400 pairs of shoes in this vast closet area.
Yeah.
So me too, except they all go with something. These are my janky Iron Man shoes. These are my Star Trek boots. These are my season 3 Star Trek boots, which they're different meaning. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that going on. Anyway, who knows?
Well,
that's why I like Kingsman, though. Manners maketh man. Go get the suit on. Go do the thing with the proper clothes for the proper job.
I agree. I'm not a big cosplay. Oh, I did it this past time with the Ghostbusters. So like I made, I had the boots, I had the jacket, I had everything. My biggest problem was I couldn't figure out the index card. That was the challenge, because when Bill Murray in that scene goes to talk to Sigourney Weaver, Dana, he wrote down notes on like about Gozer and all that stuff on a piece of paper. But
as an actor, so he has notes on him.
Yeah, and
awesome.
and he has that in his hand. So that was the last piece that I needed.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah, so I have everything else. I got the Ghostbuster gloves and the jack and the suit. Anyway.
The real cosplay experience, though. I mean, you had people helping you, so it wasn't a nightmare. But when you got that orange shirt and then it wasn't the right size or something, you had to send it back. Dude, that is just. I'm sorry that happened to you, because
that's fine.
It's kind of a hassle, but like that is what happens with cosplay all the time.
Listen, I was just happy that I got it before Halloween, so that I can do the walk with the girls. That was the only challenge.
True.
Here we go.
Walker, do you know what we're talking about for what Mr.
I
Steve
do,
dressed
yeah.
up as? Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. So Timothy Connolly says on the Facebook earlier, pal. Because I posted the cousin DJ thing. Do you remember?
I do.
4 years ago, you were like, "Hey, do you like Blood and Violence?" And she's like, "Oh, I haven't seen that one. Is it good?" Do you remember that?
The door court we did with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
So
it.
you gotta have the same look on your face as you do during that. Anyway, I posted it today because I thought it was cool. I forgot that we even did that. And so Timothy saw it and
I
goes,
repressed it.
"Hey man, should I watch Jojo Rabbit or Ghost in the Shell next?" And I said, I hate to answer for you, but I would say immediately Jojo Rabbit because you love Taika Waititi and you fucking hate anime. So like, even though
Whoa.
this is a live action adaptation of a beloved anime, I that would be my prediction. So
I was gonna say Jojo Rabbit because I haven't seen Ghost in the Shell, but knowing that it has ties to anime, I would just say steer clear.
it's Scarlett Johansson playing a cool ass robot.
I think I know. I think we talked about it before.
You didn't like
Like,
Battle Angel Alita, so I was like, you're not gonna like Ghost in the Shell, so why bother?
It's a style I don't respond to.
But our buddy Chuck Gilbert said, "Hey, 4 years later, what do you think DJ's favorite movies are?" She had said West Side Story and Frozen, and I said, "Hey, man, our favorite movies 4 years later are still Raiders and Die Hard." So like, the classics that are the classics. Like I have no idea, but I bet she still loves those two movies. Like, don't your girls love the same movies they did 4 years ago? Even as kids, that's not.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's something that's been entered, like that they've engaged that would jump anything. And I don't think so. It would only be if I showed them something else that I thought was good to watch. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they could compare them.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a good question. I have to ask him that. I mean, I know my older one likes the Mean Girls movie. She likes that now.
Oh yeah,
she's seen that a bunch. She likes to watch that. I don't know why.
Dude, Mimi. No, I'm laughing because Mimi loves that movie. And
yeah,
they've just done some kind of. It's not a reboot and it's not a remake. It's like sort of
a
like
musical.
It's like a theatrical.
No, yeah,
they're readdressing it. Like Tina Fey's in it. She's
will
playing
talk
the
to you
same
about that
character. It's just new girls, and
Oh,
they just call it Mean Girls. Like, figure it out, man. This is Mean Girls now. I think
okay,
that's really
okay.
sassy. I love that.
Oh, it's on Paramount Plus. That's right. Okay, yeah. I listen. I just
well, Steve, poor Walker doesn't. Girls are wrong, man. He doesn't want to talk about it.
You guys know they have cooties, right? Like, why are we talking about this?
Come on, man. Let us talk.
No, I know.
Mommy loves that movie.
The music, I'm not. I don't like. I don't like musicals. My friend said he saw it and said it wasn't all that great. I'm gonna be honest. He doesn't have the. He has good taste in movies, but he doesn't have
music. But musicals is
wait. Who is this? Auden?
No. I don't listen to what he says anymore. It was Vlad.
Oh, Vlad.
Yeah.
I was gonna say musicals is an interesting. When I worked in the video store, musicals is a very interesting thing because I think you would categorize some movies as not musicals that I would consider a musical. Like, do you not like Willy Wonka? Like,
I just had this conversation. Okay.
Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. What's the original one?
Look, I have an answer for this.
Or Willy
because
Wonka.
I have an answer for this because I just had this conversation. I got really mad at my friend. There are three types of musicals. There is like what I believe to be like on stage musicals, where like there is just zero talking, everything's music, like Hamilton and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then there is like High School musicals where it's just like, sure, we have a story and then we're gonna sing for apparently no reason. It does not drive the plot at all. We get little to no character development and it makes me cry. And then there's stuff like Wonka where it's like the music like is in service of stuff and it like makes you feel like a certain way and you find out stuff about the characters. Like when he was like his song where he was like, "Oh, I'm doing this all for my mom who made chocolate for me on my birthday." Like that was all that like drove the plot and basically gave us the protagonist motivation for his entire life essentially. So like those are the three things where it's like just all music, not serious, and serious musicals. And I like serious musicals. And I like musicals. I just don't like the not serious musicals.
I actually have a tangential opinion, if you care, Steve.
Oh, of course.
First,
yeah, but not to keep your thought for 30 seconds. You just said you like musicals, so like I think like that's the basis of it. Is like
no, see, he didn't though. You have a graduated cylinder with some sludge in it, and the bottom is musicals, right? The middle part is like you better be thirsty, and the top part is fine, right? That's all he said. It's all still musicals. It's because that's what I was gonna say. There's musicals like Damn Yankees,
sure,
Porgy and Bess,
Guys and Dolls.
I don't care. I'll sit there. Miss Saigon was great, or whatever. I don't know, but I don't like it. Stuff like Wonka and anything Tim Burton's involved in, you sort of get that.
Pitch Perfect, like Pitch Perfect. Would you consider Pitch Perfect a musical?
Pitch Perfect's different because that's a movie about singing. So can't complain that there's musical in the musical, right? That's why I thought you were saying about High School Musical, pal. It's like that kind of stuff's in its own category because hey, fuck you, Orange, for being the color orange. Like it doesn't work that way. But the thing I'm fine with is stuff like the Blues Brothers, where there's like a magical realism involved. So like singing isn't the weirdest fucking thing in this movie, right? Like so I'm good when that happens. But I usually feel like that bit in Monty Python where in the Holy Grail where they're like start singing and the dad's like, no fucking singing, stop singing. How I respond to musicals because fuck you. That's
no. And your analogy makes total sense because I'm also thinking about it. I'm like, of course I love Blues Brothers, but I would never consider that a musical. I just can.
Dude, there's more music in that than most musicals.
And then I'm like, well, then there's like South Park movie, which I still love, which is technically a musical, I guess, if you think about it, or like Willy Wonka, which is technically a musical if you think about it, or like, I mean, there's a lot of those.
That's part of the magical realism thing. There's little fucking orange guys walking around and everybody's singing. Like that's not the weirdest thing here. It's just and I actually really like Kieran brings up a good point about it's part of the story. There was that what was that show that Mr. Glenn's wife was in, the pilot. The girl who could read other people's emotions by seeing that they broke into song. It was what's her name's Magic Technicolor Dreamcoat. Remember we watched it over the coronavirus. Her dad was like had some kind of degenerative disease, and she always was able to interact with him because she could read his emotions.
Oh, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
There you go. It was really cool because they just ask you to buy this one thing, and that. Read everybody's minds when it comes out as a dance number. And on paper, I should hate that show, but it was a really awesome conceit, and they used it in service of a really good story. So, yeah. So Kieran's right. That totally works for the same reason that Pitch Perfect works. You're watching a movie that asks you to buy that one thing. That there's a collegiate a cappella cutthroat championship, or whatever,
right? Different than like Mary Poppins or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, but Mary Poppins too. She just floats around on her umbrella, and she has a TARDIS suitcase. Like, okay, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. I'm fine. Yeah. Blues Brothers in Space. Where are we on that?
I was gonna say. Wait, can we go back to Blues Brothers in Space? Because I think that's what's going to bring back summer blockbusters. Everyone's talking about Mission Impossible and stuff, and Tom Cruise. No, it's Blues Brothers in Space.
I see it if you're pitching it like Wally Wood Space, where they just have giant bubble helmets that they can still wear their sunglasses and their hats under. That then I'm good, but who do you cast as Jake and Elwood right now? Because that's what's tripping me up. It has to be guys in their late 20s or early 30s that look like they're bluesmen. I think that's a rough ask with all the Nancy boys now.
I don't know if anyone has the clout of Aykroyd. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you can't even. I'm not even trying to duplicate what happened, right?
No. I'm even saying like, does anyone walk around with that much like swagger? You know, like
all guys that do it.
Maybe first
just
thought,
Walker Young. We'll get Walker Young to do it.
I heard
he
that
takes up space
cool.
like his last name is Reacher. It's crazy.
My first thought, Pete Davidson.
That's which one though? Elwood or Jake?
I mean,
he'd have to be Jake.
Well, because are we now we're talking about, does it have to be Jake and Elwood, or is these just the next Blues Brothers carrying it on into space? No.
Well, since it's got to be Jake and Elwood. Otherwise, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, it's got to be
Call
those
it something
two.
else. Criticism.
Yeah, Travis and Carter. No, thank you.
Pete Davidson is Jake, though. I could see him as Jake. I could see that maybe. It'd be a stretch in my brain.
But Pete's not. I love Pete, but he's not. He's more of an Elwood, don't you think? Like, hey Pete, you want to sing a song? I don't think Pete Davidson is the guy that fucking holds your attention and goes rolling, 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 keep them doggies going. You know what I mean? Like when in Blues Brothers, do you remember, pal? I know Steve does. When they go into the country western thing, and Jake is like, Elwood's like, oh well, we got Miss Book, let's go. And Jake's like, no, it's a gig, we're gonna sing. And they try to keep singing, and they end up, the only country song they know is Ride, and Jake doesn't want to do it, but he does. That's a Pete scene, right? I don't know. I don't think Pete's available. I was trying to work with you, but I don't see Pete for either one of them.
That's a great question.
I know this is gonna bug me.
I'm super interested on like who Mark would think, because I feel like Mark is also very in tune with like now, like this comedians in the know now. Like he would be like, oh, it's definitely this person and this person, and my brain would be like, just can you tell me what they're in? And he'd be like, oh, this one's in this and this one's. I'd be like, that makes total sense. Actually, you know who would be probably pretty good?
Don't say Patton Oswalt, please.
No,
I like being your friend.
He would sneak into it, no matter what. I actually think the one guy from New Girl.
Oh my God! Yeah, Jake Johansson.
Is that his name? The doofy guy. The
Miller, the writer guy.
My future employer. That guy.
Okay, let's bring Chris into the loop right away.
Okay.
Casting Blues Brothers in space with new people, with the people that's available now, and Pete Davidson's kind of in a running. Nobody knows who to work on him, and Jake Johansson from New Girl for Jake.
Yeah.
Yes, for Jake.
I think he could pull that off.
I totally see that. Nice one.
Yeah, that's about the only person I can think of.
Now you need sort of a tall, spindly guy too. Now that's the part.
Yeah, you kind of almost.
Obviously.
I'm trying to think. Is there a tall?
But now it's not just like who's the tall, spindly guy that would. Fit the role.
You know who I would
work well with Jake Johnson.
I was gonna say I have the perfect guy, but because we have to pretend that money's no object and the studio is going to let us do what we want to do.
Okay.
Because this is not a commercial choice at all. People would be like, what? He's the second guy above the line in this. But the guy who did the country western, like auction collar on Letterkenny.
Oh, yeah.
You make that guy Elwood and you make Jake Johansson Jake. That's a movie that is going to smoke. It might be a streaming movie, might not be a big like theatrical release thing, but we could make that movie work. More East Line. That's awesome.
That's a great.
All right. Well, I guess we all just have to figure out what's the plot, though, Walker. Blues Brothers in space, right?
They're in space.
I think that's the
Okay,
wait. That's not a plot,
hold on, guys.
man. That's a
Hold on.
situation.
Blues Brothers, what are they doing? They're getting the band together.
Is it just
the band was abducted by aliens and they got to save them?
I was gonna say, is it just them on like we're on the moon and it's just the same movie except they're on the moon?
They got to get them back from the aliens. Their band was taken in the middle of a show.
No, I think you go even simpler. I think it's like Jake's been in space prison. Elwood's been working in like the glue factory or whatever it is, or like, and he gets out.
No, you got to do something different, man. What's the point of doing the same thing?
Well, well, I don't know. Like I've seen Blues Brothers 2000. It's one of the, you know what I mean? It's
yeah, one of the dumbest things ever. So that's why putting him in space. I guess you just have to like put him in bikinis too. That's what I was thinking actually to play that because did he was in that space prison. Was that Men in Black 3, I think? Somebody broke out of space prison. And I was
yeah.
Why don't we just do Flight of the Conchords up there? That's cool. Flight of the Conchords. I've loved them for Walker's entire existence. Do you know that story? We found out we were pregnant and when we were on our anniversary trip in New Zealand.
In New Zealand,
and so,
yeah.
So in like we were flying out of Auckland to go to Sydney and then Sydney back to San Francisco, and Mimi just fell right asleep and I couldn't sleep. So I watched like this Flight of the Conchords thing that was on just, it wasn't, this was, 17 years ago, 2007. So, there wasn't like, 2006. There wasn't, streaming and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So like, there was no way I was going to hear about Flight of the Conchords that early. But I watched them, and then like 3 months later, they're on HBO. Hey, there's a new guy, and I was like, "Oh my god, these guys, they're great!" And they took over, and Jenny is the best song ever made. Sorry, All Along the Watchtower. It's a song that's really cute, but it ends up being about he has mistaken this girl for somebody else. It goes on. Anyway.
I haven't seen that in a long time. I wonder. I should probably check to see if I have that on a hard drive somewhere. I'm sure I do.
The show?
Yeah. Because I know I definitely recorded all of them.
I keep making Walker like try to watch it. And he's like, I'm just not buying in. I don't care. And I'm like, yeah, but a hippopotamus and rhinoceros. His rhymes are bottomless. He's like, yeah, whatever.
You know what it is though? There are a lot of things to watch that are moments in time, and that is Flight of the Conchords is kind of one of those things because there's so much like with like TikTok and all that stuff now. With like Flight of the Conchords is like a predecessor to all that stuff. So like you've kind of been oversaturated with that stuff, but you got to kind of it's almost like Blues Brothers if you really think about it. It's like you're kind of like you'd seen every musical before then, and then they kind of like, do something a little different. I don't know.
Look at this.
Yeah.
This man is brilliant. Only no one's alive to do it, right? Except the Blues Brothers. That's it. We should just do that. There you go. And then you can rename the Blues Brothers. One of them's got to be named Kieran. There
okay.
You're late on that script. Anyway, speaking of that,
I'll make something. Don't worry.
Before we get too late, right? You have some kind of comic book related announcement that you would like to?
Oh
shit.
Yes. So, as we all know, the Untitled Walker Young project was something that I enjoyed doing, and I hope a lot of you enjoyed reading it.
So what was that? It was a comic book that came out at the San Diego show, right?
It was a comic book that came out at the San Diego show. It was my first comic.
It was written by you, and who are the artists?
The artists were the Philback brothers, the Cowboys. They were awesome, and a Brazilian guy named Daniel Cabal. But now we're coming back the second time. We're gonna do it better. We're gonna do it bigger. It's gonna be the same size because that's the same. Comics are all the same size, but it's gonna be metaphorically bigger. We're doing another one.
All right, let's not do the other one because we have not confirmed with the artists that it's announceable part. But who we talked to on Sunday, you can announce that one for realsy because we have art to show, right?
For shizzle.
Look at Steve. Who could this be?
We were in the talks with Manny Bello.
Well, what's the story? The new Jack Fry story.
So it's the new Jack Fry story, coming off of his encounter with the aliens. He's got to take on I don't know. I haven't.
Dude, you don't have to hype it up. Just contextualize. Hey, I'm doing the Untitled Walker Young project. The first one was so well received. I had such a good time. I'm setting up another 2-story thing. We had the Philback brothers and a new Brazilian artist for the first one. So we're going to have, we can't announce the second one, but it's industry professional. But we can announce the Jack Fry story, which is my favorite character. I'm really going to appreciate doing this one. And who did we get? San Francisco artist Manny Bello, that you know from Hench 2, and Dugout. What's it called? Are we doing Jack Fry by night, or are you changing the title?
We're thinking working title.
He's a good guy for this.
We're thinking working title is Jack Fry by night, but I don't know. I don't know.
Jack Fry by night.
It's a werewolf story, right?
It's werewolf. So I was just saying it's not vampires. Yeah, okay.
But the problem is that it's all 4 one-syllable words. So throwing by night at the end of Spider-Man kind of works. Spider-Man by night. But you have to be a comics fan and a Spider-Man fan, and I think we're just too. It was too close to the Marvel thing, the Halloween story they did last year.
Werewolf by night.
Werewolf by night.
Right, that's it. I think
that's why the title presented itself.
So what are
some
other sort of werewolfy sort of things that are not Moon or Silver Bullet related?
Before you said it, my brain was originally like Silver Bullet. Nope, can't be that. Full Moon, can't be Full Moon
Fever. Right? No, can't do that. And it has to work kind of with Jack Fry because I don't know. Wasn't the first one you just called it The Missing, right?
Yeah.
So why can't you just call this one Out My Chest? Whatever.
Yeah, it could be just.
Are you showing the art to the kids or not?
I don't know how to share my screen on my iPad.
I said if you have your phone, you can just hold it up to the camera, right?
Oh, yeah. Hold on, let me grab that.
Yeah, I kind of like The Missing is The Missing is like the abduction alien kind of thing. I think you play on that. I think that, not to creative, a little blurry. A little bit. No, those are penguins.
It's chickens.
Oh, it's chickens? They look like penguins.
It was just a thing, savage chickens. It was full of morons. How is this preparing me for real life? I sent to my child. Unless, what if real life is full of morons? I know, we can't really see it, but that's, good old Manny. Hey, you know what? Here, let's do this. Wait, can you hold it up again, sir?
There you go. I am in control now. Oh, okay.
So what do you think? That looked pretty good, huh?
Oh, dude, that looks great. Well, I mean, he's awesome. So there's nothing you're not gonna,
can't go wrong.
You really.
Oh my God, we're so thrilled. Good old Manny. I just happened to pass it by him, and he was like, "Yeah, when you got chairs and I got a table, let's put on a show." I was like, "Man, that's awesome."
I think you lean into the I think you lean into the simple title.
Yeah, like the missing thing.
I think you do.
But then what do? It's just it's a guy on a voyage of self-discovery that's self-harming himself because he turns into a werewolf. And then fucking werewolves.
I mean, you could
right?
call
I
it.
mean,
You could call it fucking werewolves. But I know you don't want to do that.
Walker, what do you think what's the theme of that? Like, what's Jasper after, or what's Jack Fry after? Jack's just trying to help out his buddy, and you got a little character stuff with Jack, with the guy that tells him about the safe house.
Mm-hmm.
So is there something like that he's reaching out for his old buddies, and Jasper's reaching out for his old buddy, or something? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I got it. Wait, no, it's the same thing. All right, but here we
you're a writer.
Hold on.
Oh, I got it. No.
Jack Fry.
Go back to Oprah and bonbons.
Night Shift.
Night Shift?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. That works. That's a good one.
Or just Night Shift.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like.
No, you're good. We can hear you.
Okay.
That was.
Don't do that, because
what did you say, Steve? Night Shift?
Isn't that what you said? Night Shift?
Yeah.
So everybody's
Jack
agreed
Fry,
on Night Shift. Okay.
Coming soon. Hopefully.
A good Ron Howard.
Yeah. Good little take this off our taxes, right? That was all. This has all been a work meeting.
Business meeting, yeah.
All right. With a KNIGHT? Maybe. That's a different story. I don't know. So, and then, I guess you could say that you've written the second story, but just don't say who's going to draw it, because that's not official yet.
Yeah.
Do you want to say that part?
What the story is?
Yeah.
Sure. So.
With this, Untitled Walker Young Project 2.
Number 2, yeah.
That's what we're about to talk about?
No. I was thinking, so you know that piece that Nick Darrington did for us of the dad on the moon playing baseball with his son jumping up and down? It's a home run and it turns into a star. It's beautiful. I got to ask him if we can use that. I'm sure he'll be fine. Or we'll buy him a dinner or something. And
make him be fine.
But on the back, Walker, I thought, because you were saying you should have some trade dress on the back, and I thought, why don't we just do double covers, right? And then just so the other side is the Nick Darrington piece too, but like at 25% gray, and then in huge black letters it just says, Untitled Walker Young Project number 2. You know, Manny Bello and cool ass artist to be named later. You know, and so all 3 of your names are on the back, and and then you can display it both ways on the table.
Yeah.
So that was okay. That sounds like that was a hit. So anyway, I'll tell what the second story is if you feel shy about it.
Go ahead.
Young did a sequel to Planet of the Capes called Return to the Planet of the Capes.
That's right.
Which is pretty impressive since I killed everyone and they learned nothing.
Oh, how'd you do that?
I don't know. I did this.
Is it 2
thumbs up?
What?
See, there you go. 2 thumbs up.
Hold on. Does that really work? What?
You guys. How come I get nothing?
Wait.
Anyway. Wait, what happened?
What are these things?
2000 start is a rainstorm. That's awesome.
This is so weird. That's awesome.
That's the internet for you. Fireworks and rainstorms.
Amazing.
Anyway, so that should be a good little product. Steve, talk about yours, man. What do you have coming out for San Diego?
I am hopefully trying to keep on writing my little movie review book where it's essentially like all the movies I think you need to see.
You guys are just not helping me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool,
Where's
Larry.
his talent?
What's coming out for me? It's a collection of my columns from dorkcord.com called Wait, Have You Not Seen This? Well, right now it looks like it's going to be about 24, maybe 36 pages. I don't know. one of my friends at whatever big shot agency I work at was going to do a cover for me, and
Oh yeah,
we'll probably get some other big shot, Rodney from Lucasfilm to do an intro for you, right? Look, see, there you go.
Yeah, I actually
talent,
man. Yeah, exactly. Listen, as I told you, if I photocopy it and it put it, listen, the fact that anyone even reads it is kind of the most insane thing about that whole thing.
This isn't a fucking printed comic. I'm doing a lot of goddamn work for nothing. Oh wait, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. I'm trying. That's not Larry 6.0. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be fun. And then I got the Loose Cannon book coming out, so that's 3. Is Mark's got to have something, right? Is one of his what was the Black Diamond ripoff called? Maglev. Does he have another Maglev volume coming?
I don't know if he's written anything, but I haven't asked him about it since who knows? Probably.
All right. Well, 2 of the 3 of the 4 of us of Dorkcore are living that July to July life, right, Walker Young? And then
12 months of July for me.
We're gearing up.
All I know is I think just recently I beat Price with my columns on Dork Court. So I think I now I don't know how many I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
wow.
Not that anyone's keeping track, but
That's awesome. I'll make sure to tell them that.
This is how you get people writing on Dork Court now, because now I'm like, well, now I got to beat Steve.
Oh, I think you might only have like 3 articles, maybe.
I don't understand how there hasn't been a lacrosse article yet, but Bro's got stuff going on.
We haven't.
Take the SATs this Saturday. I'm kind of not giving him shit about that. I'm just happy he's on the show today. Honestly.
No, that's super cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, don't have lacrosse today, or did, and then you got
on Thursdays they were like, oh, that's Dork Court, where we just won't have practice for Walker.
Oh,
no, we have block schedule, so everyone who's serious doesn't want to wait an hour and a half to start practice, and for everyone else, so we just get to go home early.
Nice, not bad.
Kieran McNulty. Thanks for hanging out with us. That was awesome.
Yeah, very, very cool. Well, I don't know. We probably are hitting pretty close to the time, aren't we?
Yeah. Yep. He said it was just getting late in Ireland, which they're plus 8 hours from us. So what time is that?
Whoa, that's 8. 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
dude. I told you he's got a young man, so parents never sleep. I remember one time I wrote something kind of snarky to somebody about something. And they wrote back, something even worse, like, "Yeah, what are you doing at 3 a.m. wasting your time with this? Go to bed." I'm like, dude, my fucking 8-month-old just had a screaming nightmare, and I'm not going to bed anytime soon. So I'm just fucking looking at my Facebook. Why don't you eat my dick? And that's how I have friends like you guys, because no one else will have me.
Wow.
I included you, Mark, in that one. Mark, who is not here.
He's off in the wilderness today.
Yeah, he was on assignment.
Yeah,
that's what we said. Oh, hey, what I used to say back in the old days, because of in Star Trek, the motion picture, there's a scene where Captain Kirk is going to get command of the Enterprise back, and it's a really like kind of thing, and he's like, "I'm on my way to a meeting with Admiral Nagora, which will not last more than 2 minutes. It is my intention to be on that ship. Following that meeting, report to me aboard 1 hour." And so it's just this sort of like mantra in my head when I have to go do something. I feel like William Shatner's like possessing me, and I have to go. And so I just I'm on my way to a meeting with Admiral Nagora became the shorthand for like, okay, I have to go do something now, not the regular Larry nonsense. And that's how I feel about Thursdays for Dark Horse. This is an important thing.
No,
we just talk about pop culture nonsense.
Very important to me. That's why I was like today I had like crazy work day, and I was just like, well, shit, I don't want to miss this, but I'm also like, can we noodle it a little? And I'm like, all right, no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm jumping on.
That was awesome, man. I really appreciate
No, of course.
you working around your actual real responsibility just to have some laughs with us.
No, of 100%, 100%. Well, I look forward to this every week. Although we chat all the time, I look forward to this because it
just seems like this is a more like weighty sort of thing. Like we chat because we're pals.
Yeah.
But this is like we're solving the world's problems.
No, this is where we, I find out that Walker likes the David Lynch Dune more than this Dune because he likes practical effects. But then I'm like, oh, so you like practical? So like you got to watch like American Werewolf in London, and you got to watch have you seen The Thing, and have you seen like this is where my brain immediately goes when I hear stuff like that, because my brain's like, oh, now I have 50 movies to recommend because you like practical, and you can see why David Lynch made a movie like that in that year, because this is what he was watching and this is what he enjoyed. But I love that. So that's why I need that, because we would have never, with the exception of, Dune 2 was cool.
Look, this is my practical effects for Werewolves of London.
Yeah.
If you could just picture my hand now, like growing.
Has he ever seen that? Probably not, right?
You know what? We haven't seen The Thing either.
Oh.
Despite me having an Outpost 31 patch on my jacket, I haven't seen The Thing either. I'm not gonna. Fuck that movie.
Wait, the original?
That's fucking scary shit, man.
Oh, you have to see that.
I know.
Like, we're not, like, I don't, like,
There's a dog with a human face and spider legs, man. That's not my kind of movie.
Okay. I'm going to just clarify it like I clarify everything, and I don't know
I know literally everything about this movie.
I know you do.
To see it.
The minute you see it, the next costume that's hanging in the background is Kurt Russell's McCready outfit.
No. Because I know Kurt hates the sombrero.
No, he picked out the sombrero.
No, that's not true.
That's what he said in the GQ interview, I'm pretty sure.
Sure he did, but because he saw it there on the table and they were trying to give it to him, and he's like, I don't want this. And they're like, no, John didn't tell you, this is part of your character. He's already shot stuff in the cockpit from behind.
That's
where it's another actor with a sombrero. So you're fucked. And he was like, all right, I will embrace it. But that's why I won't do that.
I think you would like The Thing. That's all I'm saying.
I do like The Thing. I don't have to see it.
That's true. That's very true.
And it has like the best ending of all time because they didn't know how to end it.
Yeah.
So it's Kurt and that other guy going, just sit here and see what happens. Like as a fucking joke, right? They don't know what to do. And they're like, oh no, wait, that is the end of the movie. Thanks very much, Kurt. I like, come on, that's so awesome. I don't have to see it.
Yeah.
I already have.
That's fair. But I think it's one of those ones I don't know. I'm different perspective. Okay.
I know. I'm just giving you shit about that. Like, how long did it take for you guys to convince me to watch Tombstone? Yeah. Like, it's an iconic Kurt Russell movie. Like, I'm going to see it.
No, I listen. Yeah. We have other things to see. We got to see the new Ghostbusters in like a week or two. So.
Oh, is that? Wait, that's April though, isn't it?
No, that's March, dude. That's in like 2 weeks.
March 21st?
Something April. Like that. I think so. Yeah.
Walker, are you gearing up in the Ghostbusters stuff?
Yeah, sure.
You don't have to.
To go to the movie?
Yeah. Like, because Steve's going to wear his stuff.
No,
because why did he buy it if he's not going to wear it to the movie?
I'll wear it.
If we all got to do it, I think the only logical next step is that we got to throw together an ectoplaza. What is it?
The Ecto-1 ambulance?
Ecto-1, yeah. An Ecto-1 together and show up.
I think it's the first showing of it I got tickets to, so...
We don't have much time.
If there is a fan one, there wasn't a fan version, but it was the earliest I could get tickets, the first one. So
that's awesome. Thank you so much, Steve.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
I'm very much looking forward to that movie because it looks like they know what they're doing. Like that, they got all that growing pain stuff out of their system, and it's like, yes, this is what you want, of course. Paul Rudd is who you hire to be a modern Ghostbuster, and then you make it Egon's family, and you bring in all the new cats, and then whoever's left alive, and you got the old cats, and that's what they should have done like fucking 20 years ago. But
it's what they wanted to do with Farley and all those guys, and they just could never pull it off. So,
well, I'm glad. I don't think the world needed Ben Stiller as a Ghostbuster, but Paul Rudd, yes.
Yeah, Chris Farley would have been an interesting Ghostbuster.
No, because then you're just in the Melissa McCarthy territory.
You think so?
Yeah, dude, fat people in mechanics and overalls doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's like the whole thing about the really fat guys don't have those blue collar jobs unless it's Tater and Cooter in the back with the.
I guess okay, I could see that.
They have all those. Lauren would know the overalls.
Overalls, yeah, that makes more sense.
That if you could somehow get an overall Ghostbuster thing going on, that would work for Chris Farley.
Well, I think when you
talking myself into it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think when you finally
somebody get the reanimated corpse of Farley in here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was gonna say I think when you kind of start venturing off to like LA and all these different areas, then you have like Ghostbusters Midwest,
Yeah, Farmer Ghostbusters, right?
Or like Letterkenny, Ghostbusters Letterkenny.
Yeah. Oh man, that sounds good. A little crossover. Walker, speaking of venturing into LA, you want to tell Mr. Steve anything?
I'm going to LA to tour schools in spring break.
Oh, nice. Which ones are you looking at?
Chapman, Loyola. I have them on my phone. I don't know.
Have your dad send me the list. I'm interested. And then just because I want to see the list, and then I want to see if I know any alumni of any of them.
We're going to UCLA, and then there was another UC school.
Oh, yeah.
What was that one?
Okay, I have part of the list.
It's just we're at spring break. We're going down and just hopping in 4 schools, and gonna see Rick Austin and Samantha Shearer. You remember Samantha from Kickstart, our producing partner.
Yep.
And what else? There's one more thing we're doing, sir. Who else are we seeing down there? I forget. But LA,
the frozen head of Walt Disney. No.
Pana. We'll probably Pana's going to get us onto the Marvel lot, probably the Marvel Studio commissary.
Oh, very cool.
Chat.
I will leave my mark.
Well, don't say that. They won't let you in.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, send me the list of the schools. I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know. Because, it's just very small world. So,
yeah. Yeah, no, we'll take all the help we can get for networking, right, pal?
Yep.
So say thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right, we should probably tie this up.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I guess we will do this again next week. I think 2 things. Congrats on the next book, the Jack Fry announcement. That's killer. That'll be super exciting to see there. And then, as always, thank you, Larry, for working through the Dork Court stuff with me.
Steve, come on,
wait, have you not? Listen, you edit it, so you make it sound better than what I share. So
I just fixed typos, man. It's all there. You got it. Thanks for showing me how to work StreamYard.
Yeah, no, well,
it's the same thing. We help each other out.
Awesome.
Thanks very much, and thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
See you next Thursday at 4 on the internet.